The secretary bird and the cobra, the maternal instinct, the cost of survival in the natural world.
Courage is not a choice. It is a consequence. For the secretary bird, confronting a cobra is
not an act of aggression. It is an instinctive response triggered by the presence of vulnerable life. Behind her, new life begins defenseless. It cannot flee. It cannot fight. And in nature, vulnerability is often a brief condition. The cobra is not a villain. It follows the same rule as
every predator on the savanna. To survive, it must feed. But when two survival paths intersect, conflict
becomes inevitable. For the secretary bird, this encounter is not about dominance. It is about preservation. The survival of her offspring outweighs every other instinct, including fear. Fear does not disappear. It is
overridden.
The maternal instinct is one of the most powerful forces in nature. It transforms hesitation into
a species adapted to hunt snakes. She becomes a guardian of continuity, a living barrier between danger and the future. Nature does not reward bravery. It does not recognize intention. It only acknowledges outcomes.
When the threat is neutralized, it is not a victory in moral terms. It is merely survival.
Extended, life allowed to continue for another day. But on the African plains, safety is temporary.
The absence of danger is never permanent, and survival is always unfinished. Survival in nature is rarely defined by a single encounter. It is shaped by repetition, by constant readiness for the next threat. 4.
The secretary bird motherhood does not pause when danger retreats. It becomes a continuous state of vigilance. Every decision is influenced by proximity to her young. Every movement is measured. Every sound is a theft. This heightened awareness comes at a cost. Energy spent on protection cannot be used for rest. Attention given to defense limits opportunities to forage. Yet nature offers no alternative. Maternal care is not sustained
by comfort but by endurance. The secretary bird's ability to confront venomous predators is not an accident.
It is the result of generations shaped by selective pressure. Individuals who hesitated did not pass on their lineage. But adaptation alone is not enough. Experience teaches restraint as much as aggression. Not every threat must be challenged. Not every risk can be taken. The true challenge of survival lies in balance, knowing when to confront and when to conserve strength for what may come next. In protecting her offspring, the secretary bird accepts an unspoken truth of nature. The survival of one life
often depends on the loss of another. This exchange is neither cruel nor avoidable. It is the
currency through which ecosystems function. For the young, the lesson is silent but profound. Long before
they can hunt, they are learning through observation, absorbing the cost of survival and the vigilance required
to maintain it. Nature does not educate through instruction. It teaches through exposure. And as long as
the young remain dependent and the mother remains a shield, each successful defense slightly increases the odds.
Continuation, not certainty, only possibility. Because in the wild, survival is never guaranteed, only earned moment
by moment. The encounter with the cobra is not an ending. It is a reminder that life
persists not through peace but through constant negotiation with danger. And for the secretary bird, motherhood means
accepting that negotiation again and again until the next generation can stand alone. In nature, the end of one danger does not signal peace. It simply creates space for the next challenge. Threats do not only come from the ground, they also arrive from above. From eyes trained to detect weakness and opportunity, the eagle does not descend with malice. It arrives with purpose, high above the plains.
Its responsibility is the same as that of the secretary bird. to provide to sustain the next.
Generation to the eagle, this is not a personal conflict. It is a calculation shaped by hunger.
Is cruel. Human morality has no place here. Nature does not assign blame. It maintains balance. If
Eagle fails to return with food, its own offspring will perish. If the secretary bird falters,
Her lineage ends in that moment. This is not a contest of good versus evil. It is
a test of limits. Limits of strength, limits of endurance, limits of chance. In the wild, effort does not guarantee success, nor does devotion ensure survival. But what remains constant is the willingness of every parent to expend everything they have for a future they may never witness. The savanna endures, not because it is gentle, but because life persists through relentless competition, above the ground and below.
the sky. Maternal instinct and parental duty drive the engine of the natural world. And it is
On a different form, high above the ground, an eagle completes its hunt. Precision, patience, and power have delivered success. But the hunt is not the end of the story. The prey it carries
is not for itself. It is for the next generation. For the eagle, every successful strike is
a promise, a transfer of strength from parent to offspring. A lesson written not in teaching, but in nourishment. Unlike the honey badger's defiance, the eagle's survival is rooted in mastery, years of refinement,
perfected instincts, and unwavering focus. By bringing food back to its young, the eagle ensures that its
lineage continues, that the skills of the hunter will one day take flight again. Across species, the pattern remains the same. Different strategies, different risks, yet the purpose is shared. Whether through fearlessness, dominance, or precision, life in the wild ultimately moves forward for those waiting at the nest. For now, Savanna grows quiet. The tension that once filled the air begins to fade, replaced by the color. Steady rhythm of life continuing as it always has. This moment of calm is not a reward.
It is a pause. In the African wilderness, peace is never permanent, but it is essential. It
allows wounds to heal and strength to return, and the young to grow, unnoticed and unchallenged, if only.